Hi everybody, it's Will on Y4, and I'm here today with a revised video on Brisbane's patch for the StarUI Shipbuilder mod. And the reason we have to do this is I have the Shipbuilder mod now installed without any of the other modifications that have been issued so far, and here I am trying to load HAB from Tayo, and it's listed as companionway, and you see I have a 3x3x2. I don't know what that is, but this is just an example of how dysfunctional this mod has become. And since it has been an essential mod for us to use in our shipbuilding, it is terrible that has not been updated. So as much as I love being here on Katie Did 3 at my Vitinium Fuel Rods site, the one I just reconstructed, we have to go back to the desktop in order to implement this fix. So here we are on the StarUI Shipbuilder site. And if we go down to a look in the post, here's Brisbane's post, and here's the link to the zip file that we need. So just click on that, go to this page, don't bother to click here, just go to the download. And save that zipped file, just remember where you've saved it. So I've unzipped the file, now I'm going to open it up, and this is what it looks like. Now I've seen someone commented that they didn't get this patched folder. This patched folder has nothing in it in the way that it comes through. And apparently his operating system wouldn't let him create a folder that didn't have files in it. So if that's the case, just create a new folder and call it patched. The next step is to open up this README text, which has all the instructions in it. But I'm not going to open it in Notepad. I've opened it in Microsoft Word, and the key instruction here is we have to download this utility. By the way, it's a wonderful little essay on how we went about doing this. It's really cool to read it. But let's copy this GitHub address and go to GitHub. And here's the GitHub page. We want to take this file right here, the i686, and download that file. I've taken that utility, unzipped it, and put it up here in the patch folder. The next step is to rename it. Now, I made a stupid rookie mistake and started renaming this and found that it couldn't work. Well, the obvious problem that this is the folder and the file is underneath. So this file gets renamed, and we want to start just on the other side of that 3 and delete everything until we come up to the dot. And that's it. Now we want to, I'm going to cut that file and go back into the parent folder and paste it. Now I can get rid of this one. And we are all ready to go for the next step. Now here there's a fork in the road because the instructions will be different depending on how you have your mods installed. I have a Windows PC, it's obvious, and I'm using Mod Organizer 2. Brisbane has pointed out that if you have Vortex or have done a manual installation, your mod installation files would be in your Steam universe or in the Starfield main folder. So I'm going to show you how to do that, although my files aren't there, so I can't do all of it. I'll leave a timestamp so you can skip ahead to that if you're not interested in watching the Mod Organizer 2 version. Now, everybody's location for Mod Organizer is different. Mine was loaded by default, apparently, in my user's app data folder, so I'm going to open that up. Then it's under local, and now we have Mod Organizer 2. So you may want to begin right here. In any event, you have to go through the Starfield folder, the mods folder, and then scroll down in your mods until you see StarUI Shipbuilder. And then interface. Now you're in the spot in which you need to copy the files that need to be patched. Now, if you were on Steam, based on Brisbane's instructions, you would go right-click on the game, browse local files, and then open up the data section, and you would see the transform folder. Well, it's not in my folder, of course, because mine is in Mod Organizer 2. But let's get back to the final step here. So whichever way you've gotten here, you need to open up the interface folder and copy these 4 SWF, or I think they're flash files. Copy them. And notice the date, 11/14/23. Now go back to your patch file and paste those SWFs in place. Now, here's another thing which you have to be very mindful of. You need to know what version, what frames per second version of StarUI Shipbuilder you have, because there's 3 different choices here, 30, 60, and 120. And you don't want to make a mistake with that, so you need to check on it. Mine's 60. So I'm going to double click on that bat file. There was a quick little MS-DOS window, and I open up patched, and here are my patched files with today's date. That's terrific. Now I have to copy them. And then I'm going to go back and reinstall them in the mod. Just so I don't screw up, I'm going back and I'm going to go right through the menu system again to make sure I get them in the right file. If you've been doing a lot of fooling around with this, you may have other stray choices that could be a problem. So now here we are, and everybody should have arrived at this point. Now we want to paste those old files in. We want to replace the files. And now we have our mod updated with new SWF files. But of course, the moment of truth is, will it actually work? Well, here we are in the shipbuilder, and look at that. Here's all of Dark Star's weapons. Now let's go up and see whether we got our Tayo Habs back. There's all 27 of them. Let's just pick one here and see whether we have the empties. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's great. So it's obvious that this has worked, and that's just terrific. As I look out at my Vitinium fuel rods factory here on Katydid 3, which is still a work in progress, I think we would agree that this was really worth the effort to go through to make these changes. And again, we thank Brisbane. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. Leave any comments below. I'll be happy to respond to them. Take care.